Hi, everybody. Welcome to Moving Forward with Audrey. We are a healing podcast. I am Audrey, and I am a healer, a psychic, an artist. I'm a lot of stuff. I call myself an ever evolving being, and I am, as are you. Today, our topic is contraception, conscious conception, better than abortion. And I apologize for those weird noises. That is my laptop. I don't know how to fix it. I had it fixed. That's what it's doing now. So, luckily we are recording, and that's what we're going to go with. So, our affirmation for today, and an affirmation is a statement of power, intention, and when I do it, action. And yes, you're seeing me looking pretty naturally. I am doing a little more of that day by day, including sometimes on these podcasts. Sometimes I'll be all done up, other times not so much. Part of who and how I am at this time and at this time. So I do not like that noise. Please bear with it. I do not know how to stop it. So our affirmation for today is, I live my life consciously and mindfully and make decisions that benefit myself and the world. I live my life consciously and mindfully and make decisions that benefit myself and the world. One more time. I live my life consciously and mindfully and make decisions that benefit myself and the world. As we get into this is something I have been discussing literally for 60 years in one way, shape. 60. 60. And I am a major advocate for women, men too, but definitely for women. I definitely am an example of the divine feminine we all are. And yes, this is how we look sometimes. And the divine feminine can also be in man. It is not just a female thing, it's a vibrational energy, and that energy is rising up, 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 up. And to really participate in it means living with consciousness and generally with wisdom. So our breathing attunements, and again, I am keeping it simple, is we're going to breathe the inhalation this time and the exhalation the same amount of time. So we'll inhale to the count of 5, hold till the count of 2, and exhale to the count of 5. This will start aligning your breath and giving you internal resonance. This can help align your heart brain with your head brain. And the heart brain is actually more powerful, and it tells the head brain what to do. For the scientific explanations, listen to Greg Braden, listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza, listen to them. I'm going to give it to you psychically without all of the medical stuff, because that's not my expertise. So get comfortable, loosen your clothing, make sure you're sitting, because you don't want to have to be concerned, are you wobbling at all if you're standing? You could be lying down with your head propped up. I am right now. And if you have to go to the bathroom, do it now. And then inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3. Notice how you feel compared to before we started. And if you're taking notes and keeping track of how you feel after these various breathing attunements, please notice which ones are your favorites, how you feel differently with each one, which ones you're practicing regularly. And I have met people who go, nah, I don't want to do that stuff. I don't need it. I'm not going to tell anybody I do tell people what you need or don't need. I will say this. Everyone breathes. Plants breathe. Rocks breathe. Everything breathes. You breathe. Insects breathe. Everything breathes. And when you do it with consciousness, you bring in another level of energy and awareness into your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, and whatever other system you may be. So as you know how to do this without having to count, you can also be telling yourself and knowing it and allowing it and being it that you're breathing in healing white light, clearing you, cleansing you, uplifting you, and you're exhaling healing white light, creating a whole environment around yourself, your own bubble of light. Years ago, the guides had me breathe white light into the linings of all my cells. I do that almost every day. So breathe in white light to the linings of all your cells. And no, you don't have to look at each little lining. How are you going to see that anyway? It's minute, it's tiny. You allow it, you indicate it, you declare it. You are sovereign over your being. No one else is. Especially when you're of age to be responsible for who you are. In astrology, that is definitely after the first Saturn return, which is around when you're 28, 29. I know in the United States, a person is so-called legal at 18. Do I think people of 18 are adults? No, I do not. I remember 18. I wanted to think I was an adult, but I wasn't an adult. I was in college. Was I paying for everything? No. Did I take care of all that? No. I was still dependent. Most people are, even those who get married at 18 or have children at 18. Can most of them people really handle that in a responsible way? Not necessarily. Does that mean they should or shouldn't do that? It is all a choice. So whatever choices you are making, please be responsible for them, and we will get into that. First, again, I would like to show you frequency stones. I meant to get different ones, but I love this. Look how yellow. I'm bringing it really up to the camera so you can see it. Look! This can be yours. It's this big. Okay, how do I show on my hand? Like the middle of my hand. And for a woman, I have large hands. I mean, I'm 4'10". They're not large hands, but they're not itty-bitty hands. Look at this. These up-level your frequency. These can bring a smile to your face, to your heart, to your energy, and that helps you evolve. That one's fairly light. This one is heavier. Look. I have various different colors. Yes, I'm big on fuchsia and gold. I love those. Red, green, yellow, black. I definitely have those. I am currently out of crystals. I definitely would like more. See the crystal? They all have crystal. Even the itty bitty ones have a crystal. And my hand is a relatively small hand. So if you have a bigger hand, you could hold this. I have smaller ones. You can hold them. They help you center the indigenous people of the United States. I have friends, so I know I have spoken. Call them the old ones, the old people, the old ones. They help you center, ground, stabilize. You can also walk on the actual earth, climb a mountain, get that clean air. I live near the beach. I live near the coast in Costa Rica. So I walk every day unless it's pouring rain, in which case not so much. And I get that clean air. Is it as clean as I would like? No, not even in this land of Pura Vida, which means pure life. And that is the basic mentality here in Costa Rica. And I wanted the real Costa Rica. So I'm on the African Caribbean coast, which is very diverse. I don't want to be with only one kind of person or one color. That is so not my lifestyle. The minute I moved out of my parents' house and started my own life and began meeting many different kinds of people, I was in New York, the city, Manhattan, and if there's any place, certainly then, where you're going to find people from everywhere, including from the stars. New York was where it would be. What it is now, je ne sais pas. I don't know. I have not been there in a while. And make it your life that you're doing things that benefit who you are. So our topic for today, contraception, which means birth control. Conscious conception, which means being aware of when and choosing when to get pregnant, better than abortion, in my opinion. So, something I have been speaking about, including once at, what is it? It's a UN organization for people that are not members of the UN, and I spoke with a group there. I was in my early 20s. I said it was 60 years ago. Do the math. I'm 83 as I do this. This is what 83 looks like on me right now. I'm a healthy, vibrant, amazing 83. And you can be also, for who you are. So I remember going there. Remember, I lived in the city. The UN was in the East 40s. I lived elsewhere in the city. And I remember speaking to some people there that were part of an organization. And I wanted to discuss this. And a guy there, older than me, I was a mere 23, possibly 24. That was it. And he said to me, oh, you can't talk to people about birth control. That's such a personal part of their life. And I looked at him and I thought, all right, I'm not going to use the words of what I thought, but I thought he was a fool. I did. Okay, so I was 23, 3, 4, 5, in 1965. Go get a context of when this happened. And for those of you that are very young, yes, at that time we did not have birth control. It was not part of the law. We hadn't repeated Roe v. Wade because we hadn't even passed Roe v. Wade at the time. And I remember young ladies at college coming to me. People have always come to me and asked me things. Since I'm a child, that's part of being a psychic and a healer. People can feel the energy and ask me stuff. And I remember this one young lady was very concerned because she had gotten pregnant, did not want to be pregnant, and was wondering about an abortion. I'm not going to tell you what I counseled her because really that is her business with me. But what I reminded her, you cannot kill a soul. You cannot. And at that time, I had not yet had my near-death experience, which I have had, where I spoke with the shiny light beings, and they are real people, and they were not extraterrestrials. See, like we have a face. See the face? This is like light. Oh. So if I let myself really go into the feeling, see, here it comes. I'll start to cry because the energy is so magnificent, so wonderful, so loving, that as much loving as I have felt on this earth, and I have felt other stuff too, nothing was like that. So I have not yet had that. However, I knew, because I know, there were things I absolutely know, that you can't kill a soul. You can't. So even if somebody chooses an abortion, they are not killing that soul. And there are those of us who feel if someone has an abortion, the soul that is in the woman usually knew in advance that it was not going to be a full-term pregnancy. And there are souls that they only need that. Nonetheless, I have never, and I am 83 years and change on this earth, and I still do not really understand why some women are careless and don't take responsibility, and some are flippant about getting pregnant. That has never been me. And a lot of them, do I know it can happen? Yes, I'm aware of that. That's not what I'm talking about. Some people don't seem to put any attention into, if they're going to have sex, and I'm not telling you not to have sex, that's your own personal decision, but please be mindful about it. If you do not choose to be a mother, if you do not choose to bring life to this earth, use contraception. And if you're living somewhere where that is hard to get, which it used to be very easy, and since the guides do not want me to discuss politics, all I am going to say about that, oh boy, I better clean up my language. There are some very foolish people in so-called power that are usurping the rights of women all over the planet, which I'm not going to get into now. Pay some attention. Wake up. Wake up! Learn your own biology. A woman can tell through her menstrual cycle and the quote-unquote mucus coming from her vagina. That's a body part, I could say it. Coming from her vagina, whether she is ovulating or not, when she is fertile or not, and keep a calendar so you know when you ovulated, well, when you got your period. Count back so you have an approximation of when you ovulated. And then don't have sex when you are fertile if you are not using contraception. And in terms of, oh my God, but I really wanted to be with him, I understand that. I am an extremely healthy woman with very strong drives in many different directions and huge passion. I know what that feels like. Nonetheless, be responsible and don't think, it won't happen. You don't know. You don't know. And if you're taking that chance, as I know many have, be willing to accept that you may get pregnant and have to take care of that child. I would like to say that all male partners jump in willingly to do that. That is not the case. And please don't be ignorant or simple or naive and think because he likes to have sex with you, which most heterosexual males do, by the way, not a surprise, that they are automatically going to be responsible or good fathers or help be supportive of you. Or you may not yet be a good mother. You grow into that. Read my book, The Mother's Manual. I call it TMM, The Mother's Manual. It's on my website, what is my website? AudryeNow, AudryeNow.com. And if you want the book, let me know. I give away a free sampler of the book because I think everybody should get an idea of what they're buying. And the reason it's not in print is because I am choosing consciously to be mindful of the trees on our earth. So it's a big book. It's fat. It has a lot of pages. It takes you from conceptualizing, do I want to be a mom, all the way through, including to when you have a child and that child is ready to have a child. Very complicated. And it has a lot of art. It has about, not to mention current art. I wrote this book a while ago, 20 years ago, some while ago. So does it need updates? Yes, I'm not going to rewrite it, but I will put in updates. So if you get the book, let me know. It's The Mother's Manual. Prepare yourself. And when some people say there is no manual to being a mother, yes, there is. I wrote one. So I know it exists. And if anyone says there's no manual, they just don't know me, nor do they know my book. Now, I don't know how to just put a picture. The book is beautiful. I had a wonderful graphic designer. Absolutely. Yvette Wasserman. Amazing. Oh, no, for her. She did the next book. Oh, let me get her name. Oh, she's so adorable. Oh, my God. She was from, it'll come. I had wonderful graphic designer. Amazing. The art is mine. The whole design is hers. And it'll come. And if it doesn't come now, in my next podcast, I will tell you. But learn about this. Learn. I ended up being fully responsible for my child. Did I intend to be? No. I intended to share that with my former spouse when we consciously chose to have a child. I was in my early 30s. I was not a baby. I was not an infant. And he ended up dying when my daughter was 7. And so I've done whatever there is. I'm the one who did it. Good, bad, and different. And yes, I've had help from friends. I've had help from spirit all the time. So even if you think you're totally alone, we are never totally alone, even if it feels that way. So make sure you're doing some form of meditation. That's why the breathing attunement, so you get in touch with the silence within and you know how to deal with who you are. So getting back to contraception, there's many different kinds. And whatever country you might be in or whatever part of the world you might be in, find what is available. And if for some reason there's nothing, and as I said, there are some people ostensibly in power in different countries who disrespect women, treat women badly. You do not listen to them because they do not really love you. They could say they're looking to protect you. That is some of the biggest nonsense I have ever heard, because they are not. They are looking to squelch you. I remember when I was much younger, I am what many people call petite. I am 4 foot 10 inches. At my tallest, I was 5 foot and half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, so I would say 5'1". I was never 5'1". And I'm a fairly small person, not on top. On top, I'm not small. And anywhere else, I have that particular kind of a body. And I remember when I was in my 20s, in the 1960s, when a lot was going on, a lot. And I'd go to various meetings. I would just encourage myself and pop up. And I'd ask certain questions because I'm also an aware, intelligent woman. And there would be men who practically patted me on the head, which I did not allow, but they thought they could. And they would say something as foolish as, "Don't worry your pretty little head about it." Do you know how dumb that is? That is a way to put women down. Are there men still doing that? Yes, maybe with different words, different behavior, same attitude. Ladies, do not give away your power, ever. You can share some of it with a good man. And if you're with someone who's good in certain areas and crummy in others, which is life, that could be the case with you. It's certainly the case of who I was with and all of that. Be aware of that. Do not refrain from, refuse, avoid giving away your sovereignty. Men are not superior. They are not smarter. Usually they're stronger. That's why they're bigger. Part of their job, their joy of being on earth is protection, building things. They're built for it. Look at them. Yes. Okay. Women also are strong in a very different way. Why do women on the whole live longer? Not just to take care of children. We're not normally having babies past our point of fertility, which usually more or less ends in the early to mid 50s, some a little younger, some a little older, but generally by then. So very few times are women making babies in their 60s and 70s, a few in their 50s, not so many. We live longer because we, on the whole, deal with our emotions. Many men do not. That's changing. They don't say dealing with emotions. They say we're unpacking something. Different language, same thing. So ladies, be aware. Take care of yourself. Be conscious. And now, I didn't realize how fast the time is going. This is a 30-minute podcast. So thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate women. And yes, I appreciate men. okay? I love men, healthy ones especially, and I definitely appreciate and love women differently. And bless you. Thank you. Tell everyone about this. Please like, love, subscribe, and share.